Hey guys, it's Gina, and today I am here to talk about Dark Places by Gillian Flynn, which, as you can see from the title of this video, I DNF'd it, so this will be a DNF review. So the first part of this review will be spoiler-free, so don't fear, no spoilers in the first part of this video. I will warn you when I go into spoilers. I don't have many spoilers. I do just want to talk about kind of my initial reaction of it, which will be non-spoiler, and why I DNF'd it and some of my feelings, because I don't know why, but Gillian Flynn gives me a lot of feelings. She just does. And the spoilers part of this video will be the exact point that I DNF'd it, because it is a pretty specific point in when I decided to go ahead and DNF it, and also kind of the ending, because I talked to a friend of mine and I made him spoil it for me because I wanted to know what happened. I just didn't want to continue reading. So I do kind of want to touch on the ending a little bit and the twist, because all of Gillian Flynn's novels have a twist. So first, let me start out by saying that I have read Gone Girl, and if you have been around to this channel for a while, you've probably seen some videos where I talk about my disgust for Gone Girl and my love-hate relationship with Gone Girl, but I don't think I've ever actually talked about it in length. I just have a lot of feelings with Gone Girl, but this video is not about Gone Girl. If you want to hear all of my thoughts on Gone Girl and what I hated about it and the few things I did like about it, I will leave my Goodreads review in the description below, because it is definitely a full spoiler review and probably one of the longest reviews I've ever written on Goodreads. That being said, Dark Places is definitely another long review that I did on Goodreads, so I will also link that one in the description too. I have never written so much on a DNF book. Typically I just put what I don't like about it and why I'm DNFing it and call it a day. Not with Dark Places. Gillian Flynn just gives me a lot of feelings, and I just don't like it. I just don't like it. So if you're unaware, Dark Places is a novel following our main character, Libby Day, and kind of through her realization of the truth of finding out what happened to her family when she was 7 years old. When she was 7, her family was murdered kind of in front of her. She was in the house while her mom and her 2 sisters, I believe, were being murdered. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that there were the 3 girls and then Ben. Libby and Ben, her older brother, were the only 2 that were still alive after these murders, so the cops just kind of assumed that Ben was the one that did it, and he ended up going to jail. So this book takes place years later, when I believe Libby is in her 30s. I could be wrong about that. If I am wrong about that, go ahead and tell me in the comments below. But years later, like, she's not a little kid anymore, she's an adult, she is grown, and she needs to kind of come to terms and come to acceptance almost with what happened to her family. From the very beginning, I did not like this book. It was slow, and I have a lot of issues with our main character. Like, a lot of issues. So I was wanting to DNF it from the beginning. So like I said, I really have issue with Libby and kind of how she acts and how she talks. She just feels really immature to me, and she's really selfish and just kind of a brat. You know, you're 30 years old. You shouldn't be acting like this. Like, yes, your family got murdered in front of you when you were 7. Go to therapy. Get over it. The adults that watched her after her family had been murdered should have taken her to therapy, because that is a tragic event for a 7-year-old to handle, and obviously she had some issues with it, because they even mention in the book that she was a huge brat right after that happened. Like, I don't know if she ever did go to therapy. If she did, let me know in the comments, because I either missed it because I wasn't paying that close attention, or I hadn't gotten there yet. But that girl needs therapy to get past all of these issues, which she obviously isn't. That being said, she's also extremely selfish. Within the first few pages of this book, she complains that the money that people have donated to her when she was little is almost gone, and that people aren't still donating money. I don't understand why she's complaining that people aren't paying attention to her. She's just like, oh, poor me, me. People need to pay attention to me. My family got murdered when I was 7. Yeah, that was 20 some odd years ago. Move on. The country has moved on. you're obviously not being remembered like you want to be. It just, it bothers me. It really bothers me. Like, newsflash, girl. The world is going to keep continuing, and you should too. Yeah, it was horrible, but you can't live in the past. You can't dwell on that. And it just, this book, it bugs me so much. That being said, this is also told in 3 POVs. 3 point of views. You have Libby, which is in the now section. They never really tell you what year it is. And then you have the point of view of her mom and her older brother from way back when all the murders happened and like before the murders happened. I didn't like the multiple POVs. I'm not a big multiple POV person to begin with. If there are multiple POVs, it needs to be really well written, and I need to be able to distinguish who's talking when and which POV it is. Or it needs to be done in third person, because third person POVs, I don't mind. I actually kind of like third person multiple POVs. First person multiple POVs, I can't handle it. It needs to be really extremely well written for it to be okay. It didn't work in this one. In Gone Girl it worked. And Gone Girl, I had my issues with it. I have a love-hate relationship with it, but I was able to finish it because I was so engrossed in the story, and it was a page turner and I wanted to know what happened. Dark Places, not so much. I also didn't like, I couldn't really concentrate on Patty's POV because it was so long ago, and I feel like throwing in the multiple POVs from that time was just kind of Gillian Flynn's way of, oh, I don't feel like figuring out a way to tell you what happened because I'm writing this in first person point of view, so here's a different POV. That's what it felt like to me. That being said, I was interested enough to want to keep going. I wanted to know what the twist was at the very end because there's a twist in all Gillian Flynn's novels. It was so hard to get through. Like, even listening to it on the audiobook, every time I hit the little bookmark to see how much farther I had gone, I was expecting to see it at least jump 5%, at least. It never did. It was always like 1% farther, and I was just wanting to pull my hair out. It was just dragging so much and was so slow for me. I just wasn't liking it. So to give you kind of an idea of where I stopped, I went ahead and flipped through the book to find out where exactly it was I stopped, and I stopped about 115 or so pages in. That being said, I stopped for a very specific reason. There was something that had happened in the section that I was reading that I didn't really enjoy. I didn't like it, and since I wasn't enjoying the book anyway, that was the final straw for me. I DNF'd it the next day, actually. I kind of mulled over it and thought about it, and maybe I was gonna continue. I just wasn't feeling it, and like I said, since I wasn't enjoying the book in the first place, I went ahead and DNF'd it because that's not okay with me. And I will get into specifically what that is in the spoiler section of this video. So, that being said, there were very, very, very few parts that I actually was enjoying of this book. There is a character, I believe his name is Lyle, in this book, and I really kind of liked his character. He was sort of making Libby mature a little bit, which I enjoyed. I don't know what happens to his character. I don't really know where his storyline kind of goes, but I was actually enjoying his character. I asked a friend of mine what the twist was, and when he told me, I still have no words. Like, there's no words for that twist. Like, what? So that is it for my non-spoiler part of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still here and you have read the book or you just don't care about spoilers, thank you, keep watching. But for those of you who have not read the book and don't want to be spoiled, I am going to suggest you stop watching this video, but thank you for watching thus far, and I will see you guys next time. Now for the spoilers. I don't have many spoilers because, like I said, I haven't finished the book, but the point in the book where I DNF'd it was the point where she talked about killing her aunt's dog. When you go killing innocent animals, I'm done. Like, there's no need for it, and if there is a need for it, depending on the book, such as dystopians, like they need to hunt for their food or whatever, that's fine, okay? I can get over it. You don't need to describe it in detail. If you describe it in detail, I'm not gonna like it, and I will mark books down for that. Because I'm an animal person, and there is no need for that kind of violence. It's just, when you hurt an innocent little animal, and you describe it in detail, that is when I have a problem. It would have been okay had she just mentioned in passing, well, the last time I stayed with my aunt, I accidentally killed her dog, so I couldn't stay there anymore. That would have been okay. I would have still had an issue with it, but I was already having issues with this book anyway, so I would have probably continued had that just been the case. The fact that she describes in detail what happened with the dog, I was done. Just done. I have not read anything since then. I don't plan to read anything since then. I'm done with it. Also, in the comments, let me know if you've read this book. Does she talk about her missing toes and her missing finger at all anywhere before this part? Like, did I just miss that? Because it seemed to come out of nowhere that she was missing some toes. And how was she missing some toes? Did I miss that too? Because I'm really curious. Like, I really want to know where the whole missing toes and missing finger come into play. Like, I either missed it or I hadn't gotten to that point. And if I hadn't gotten to that point yet, like, why are you including it 200 pages into the book when it doesn't need to be included? I don't know. So let me know in the comments if, you know, that happens before the dog part and if I just missed it. Because I'm actually really curious to why in the world she's missing her toes when she apparently hid when the murderer came in. Like, why is she missing toes? That just really confuses me. That being said, for the twist, what? Like, okay, so the twist, if you don't know and you're still watching this for whatever reason, maybe you're like me and DNF'd it, but you want to know what happens. The twist is that the mom hired a hitman to kill her so her kids will get the life insurance money. Yet while he was killing her in her home, one of the kids came out to see what was happening, so he killed the kid. Libby ended up hiding. Her older brother had been missing for days, so that's okay. Apparently, him and his girlfriend snuck back into the house, and his other sister came out and like started questioning them or something, and she was really annoying to Ben's girlfriend, so his girlfriend decides to kill her. Like, what even is this? No, that just no. I have a lot of issues with this twist because just why? Why is this a thing? Why did this happen? I just don't even know. Like, it makes the twist in Gone Girl so much better. And I didn't like that twist either. Actually, I take that back. I did like that twist. I did not see that twist coming, and I enjoyed it. It was the end of the book and some of the middle parts of the book that I didn't like in Gone Girl, but this isn't about Gone Girl. First of all, if you're going to hire a hitman so your kids can get life insurance money, maybe wait until the youngest kid is older than 7 so she's not as traumatized. And, oh, I don't know, let's not get murdered in your house while your children are home. Just, no. Why? 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 This book. So, I had an issue with that. Second of all, maybe you should make sure that the hitman knows not to touch your kids. But, let's see. Kid walks in. Oh, crap. Kid seeing me murder their mom. I'm gonna have to kill them so I don't go to jail because they can't ID me. I can't leave any witnesses, so he kills her. Okay. You know, okay, fine. Had that just been the twist, like, okay, fine. The girlfriend. Ben's girlfriend. Killing his little sister for being a brat. I don't understand why that was a thing and why it had to happen. Because, here's an idea, shut the kid up, throw her in another room. You don't have to kill her. Why are you killing her anyway? It's your boyfriend's sister. Like I said, there's no words. Why? I don't know. But that's really all my thoughts on this book. Like I said, I DNF'd at about 114 pages in. I did not give this a star rating because I feel like if I was not able to finish the book, then I can't properly give it a star rating just based on what I read. Which is why I have very little 1-star ratings, because if I am not enjoying a book that much, I will DNF it. There are a few books that do have a 1-star rating from me that I finished for whatever reason. This was not one of them. If I were to give it a star rating, it would definitely be either a 1 or a 2. But I didn't finish the book, so I'm not going to give it a star rating. And that is really all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still here, I really appreciate it. Listening to me ramble and complain about a book that I didn't even finish. Let me know in the comments if you had any of these issues, because I know a lot of people love this book. Looking on Goodreads, there's a lot of 4- and 5-star ratings. So this is kind of a really unpopular opinion. There's so many feels and emotions and anger that I have with this book that I had to make a video for it. Had I been doing BookTube when I read Gone Girl, I would have made a video for that one as well, because that one, I got a lot of feelings for that one too. So like I said, I will leave those Goodreads reviews in the description below. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you kind of enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything you think that I need to know, or if I got something wrong, because again, I wasn't paying that close attention to it, and I got the twist secondhand from somebody that had read it. So if I got something wrong, let me know, but try to be careful with spoilers. I don't want to spoil it for anyone else. If there is something that is a huge spoiler, feel free to message me on Goodreads, because this book. But that is all I have for you. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.